Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos for this restoration of a Matchbox 39C and 40C matching pair of Ford tractor and hay trailer. Both started in production in mid-1967. The hay trailer was discontinued from the 1-75 line in 1971, while the tractor remained until 1973. The first examples of tractor were painted blue and yellow, and all had yellow hubs front and rear with black plastic tyres. The trailer was always painted in the same shade of blue with matching yellow hubs, the same as the front hubs on the tractor. Some rarer versions of tractor had the larger hubs fitted from the 1964 50B John Deere Tractor. Here's a mint 39C and 40C duo. And this is what the tractor is based on, a 1964 to 1967 Ford 3000 Super Dexta. I go into the history of tractors by Ford and Fordson in my 72A Fordson Major restoration from 2020. In that video, I talk about the pre-1964 Fordson range and history. That is because in 1964, Ford opted to stop using the Fordson name on their tractor products. Production started at a new facility in Basildon, just down the road from me in Essex, England. Over the next year, Ford renamed and relaunched their entire range with a revised blue colour scheme. These were all titled the 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 and 5000. Sadly, the caustic soda hasn't done a grand job on this casting. So for the first time in a long time, I resort to my liquid paint stripper. I said earlier that the casting was based on a Ford Super Dexta. The Super Dexta had been produced under the Fordson name since 1962 and carried over to the newly named 3000 line. It was a development on the original Fordson Dexta, which had been launched to complement the Major in 1957. It was designed to compete with the Massey Ferguson 35, but that boasted 52 horsepower compared to the Fordson's paltry 32. However, the Ford 3000 range had a 46 horsepower engine, and the Super Dexta formed part of this series. The 3000 lasted until 1975, when it was replaced by the 3600. While there were limited developments to the trailer casting during production, there were several more to the tractor. The tractor was coloured to all over blue. In this colour scheme, it featured thrice on the back of the K20 king-size tractor transporter, which launched later in 1967. These blue castings are again very common. However, when the king-size D800 truck was upgraded with Superfast wheels in 1971, the tractors changed colour to all over orange. They were also additions to the mechanised Big MX packs of the same Ford D800 truck. The orange-bodied tractors do fetch a premium over the blue or blue and yellow types. Despite not being suitable for conversion to the new Superfast line in 1969, it is a surprise that these lasted until 1973. The trailer also made it to 1971, again not being suitable, but it remained in small-scale production for accessory and twin packs until the early 80s. As for Ford's tractor division, they had ambitions in the 1980s to become a more desirable full-line manufacturer. They acquired New Holland in 1985 and renamed Ford New Holland. Then in 1986, they bought Versatile, forming Ford Versatile, to manufacture articulated tractors. But then in 1991, Fiat purchased both Ford New Holland and Ford Versatile. The tractors were then simply renamed New Holland, and the Ford name disappeared from tractors. In 1999, Fiat bought out Case IH to become the second largest tractor manufacturer in the world, and continues to date. As for my build, aside from the paint removal issues, it has been a relatively straightforward process. I can assure you my following two planned videos are much more of a challenge. I'm aware, to many, myself included, these late regular wheels era tractors aren't all that interesting as a subject. But there are plenty of nice details across the casting, not so much the rather bland trailer. Plus, I need to tackle it in my quest to restore one of every pre-Superfast model. That's the aim anyway. So here is how the Ford tractor and hay trailer looked before. A minor miracle has occurred with that tractor not only retaining all 4 tyres, but the steering wheel and tow hook too. The trailer itself was missing its yellow plastic racks and a single tyre. The front axle on the trailer had been severely busted out of shape though. It had some resilient old paint on it that caused me some problems, but here's how they now look. Tamiya's camel yellow and French blue are perfect matches for the shades that my tractor and trailer pair came in. I've washed all 8 tyres with Citadel, including my reproduction one for the trailer. The axles have been straightened out, sanded down, and then dabbed on the ends with a chrome pen. I've bought in these reproduction yellow plastic racks, and I will leave a link to the source of these, as well as the tyre, in the description below. With this complete, it leaves me with just one conventional farm tractor to restore from the pre-1969 Matchbox series. Hopefully soon I will take on the number 4 Massey Harris tractors and show off the results of all together in that video. But that's it from me for now. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this one, subscribe and share with all your friends. But all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.